Here's how my client almost made $1 million mistake at this house, and when we walked through the first time, he was amazed about beautiful architecture, the ceilings, the details in the model home, until we walked the client's actual home when we found a lot of details that were missed initially and really started to put the pieces together to where it could be a $1.4 million mistake.
This neighborhood is 15 minutes from the city of San Antonio, Texas. This is the actual home that we walked through, and I'm not a licensed inspector. I know I'm gonna get blown up in the comments, but I don't care, because this video, like this, that I've recorded before, has helped other people, and I have had people reach out to me and thank me for going through this house. I'm not a licensed inspector. I can't say that enough. There are plenty of licensed inspectors, and I'm sure this builder's gonna fix everything that I'm gonna show you in this video, but you need to know exactly what to look for as you're going through the building process, because I've seen people burn. I've had those phone calls after this is all done, and I want to just make sure that these families know what they're walking into, especially to watch the craftsmanship as you go through this building process. So let's go through and I'll show you everything that I'm going to find.
Just initially in the doorway, this missing stucco tells me that they either had the wrong door frame or that they had to change the fittings to that metal door. As we go inside, we find little square box cutouts from the sheetrock and paint texture to address issues that they've actually had on the other side, which is near the kitchen, to where there's electrical and plumbing that goes to the microwave fridge combination, and there's where they fixed some of the electrical. Look at this beautiful 20-foot fireplace tile that goes all the way up, where some of the grout is a little bit uneven, and the baseboards where the grout match are also not lining up, and this flooring where the concrete has to be patched up to make sure that there's not any unleveling into the wood or tile flooring, whichever is going to go in this house.
All of this overspray, look, you can't see how bumpy it is, but if they don't scrape this, the floor is going to be uneven.
Nobody wants an uneven $1 million floor, especially in this beautiful home. And when you're walking through 5,000 square feet, that's going to be an issue.
These are more corrections that they had to do when they have plumbing or electrical that they missed going upstairs, which is why you see the patches there.
6 different cutouts in different areas shows me that this was something that happened that was addressed, fixed later. Can you imagine walking through your house, hanging a picture, and the sheetrock falling off?
So like, just little things like leaving.
Something that should be addressed with the home inspector is this crack could be cosmetic, could be structural, to where there's not enough support behind the sheetrock and causing it to settle. And it definitely needs more attention. And as we walk into the master, which is obviously the most attentive, the spacing between the doors could be a little bit too high to where you have an excess vent or uneven ventilation in the house. Now, the tub sitting in water is actually a really good thing to make sure that there's no leaks in the main lines. This shower door I couldn't even open all of the way, and I did not want to force it and break it, but also in the video you can see that some of the hinges are uneven on the top left, and behind that is where the grout and the tile is also uneven on the top left there that I didn't notice until I'm recording this video and doing its final edits. Now we're walking into the closet of the primary bedroom where you have uneven spray, texture, and paint. And why would you put a data cable all the way on the bottom? Because that's where your Wi-Fi is going to go. Or if you have some kind of data connection all the way at the bottom of your master bath or your primary bath. So some of the texture items are, I know it's little and it's very small details, but these details can add up. You have the switches there with some uneven plates, and then more overspray on the flooring. And this is consistent pretty much around the house, and I'm sure the builder will fix it. In this staircase, you have to make sure that that spacing is good to allow for the carpet or any kind of flooring that goes in there. And then the top of the stairs was the most concerning to me, because these nail plates are just holding the 2x4s, and it is not a 2x4 across the board. It's just kind of like a patch that they did. Of course, this cardboard sheetrock patch that they did here, I don't really understand that. You have some electrical repairs, you have some more sheetrock damage, and this broken window has been for months. And it's embarrassing to say, but you have wind conditions, you have rain that should have been covered up. And we walk through a lot of these model homes and the homes that are to be lived in, and also just seeing that to me is concerning. Some of the uneven subflooring that's in there could be concerning, and then you have some paint and texture, and all these little small crevices are super important because you have to be very meticulous with how you walk through these homes.
This is from the pipe downstairs, and then there's 2 more repairs.
You have some more patches that could be electrical, could be plumbing. Not going to go into the sheetrock to see, but it is something that makes sure that you have to have a clean job site. And this staircase on the top is also very concerning. To me, I would not want to accept that. Also, having the subflooring on the floor, having the sheetrock just laying on the floor, cracked. You don't know if they're going to use that broken sheetrock onto the home or use it as repair pieces.
Get or spray and paint in the window, with the metal window right there.
This can void the warranty when you have paint on the windowsills. That can cause a damage concern. It also can be missed during these walkthroughs, and the uneven tile would drive me nuts. There's no way that I would not advise my client to make sure that that is fixed. Also, some of that texture does have to be covered up with paint all across that 20-foot ceiling. Those window seals are overcut but need to be replaced, because if not, they'll just fill it with wood putty and you're going to have the same problems later as the home ages.
Oh, sir.
Yeah. So all of these things can be repaired, absolutely. And a lot of these builders will hire subcontractors to get all this work done. But the issue is not the subcontractors. It could be the super, it could be the project manager, it can be the area manager, and that's where all hands on deck. I mean, the name is the name. It's just whatever brand that's in front. But the reality is, going through this process, you really need an advocate with you to go along this whole process for you, and really know what to look for throughout the process and hold people accountable. You're building $1 million house and you need to know exactly what steps and what to look for. And yes, these things can all be corrected, but what about all those things that were missed? And if the project manager misses it and the inspector misses it, which they're just checking boxes, then you're gonna be left with a project potentially later on in your potential new home. That's over $1 million. I would not recommend that, and make sure you have the best of the best with you.
After seeing the issues in my client's home, we stepped next door to check out a similar model that's a little further along. And while this one looked a lot more complete at first glance, we still spotted some problems. It just goes to show, even on high-end homes, you've really got to look beyond the surface.
So here we are in a finished product, and there's still uneven sheetrock that has different texture. Look at this overspray here. This is where project managers and realtors are supposed to go through with this. Look at this dent here. That would drive me nuts. I would not accept this house if this dent was here. Here we are on the master in a supposed finished product, and very beautiful. Look, this is still missing, and you have still a missing shower head. And this over here hasn't been addressed. I don't know if that's just missing texture or mold, or I don't know what it is. But the fact is, it's there, and it's not supposed to be there, where we're supposed to have all these items at least addressed if it's ready to go. And this, oh my God, that's really bad. Again, I know they can fix it, but that's really bad.
Don't go through this process alone on your next home. Allow me to spend time with you and be your advocate from the start of the plans to make sure you have a sound investment for your family. Shoot me a message.